I mean, this is your first film, and your first lead in a film as well. I mean, was that quite scary taking it on?
Oh, hell yes. Yes, it was very scary. Yeah. You think about all of the things that could go wrong, or, you think, okay, I'm in every single scene. Like, what if I forget how to act? What if I forget how to be normal in front of a camera? Or, they realize they've made a huge mistake. Like, of course, those thoughts come in, those very intrusive thoughts. But after the first like couple of scenes, I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I just have to do this. I just have to live and be this person and just do this job. And yes, there is a camera literally right in front of my face. But by now I can get used to it. After the first couple of like takes, you're like, all right, I'm in. But yeah, I was very scared.
And also it's quite a sensitive subject as well. I mean, were there any aspects you found quite difficult to film?
The one scene, not a lot. There's one scene where, Jess comes in from an argument with her friends to her sister. And it's this, it's written as this like sob, this like heavy release of everything that's been happening in the film. And that was the one scene that I was stressed about because, back in the day in like high school, I could, I was the girl that could cry on cue and, that like used to be a thing. And that is not a part of who I am at all. I cannot, just like produce tears or whatever on the spot. I'm very information based. I'm very like, very actory about it. So I was like, oh God, I really hope that like I can do this because at the end of the day, the whole crew has been here all day and I don't want everyone to have to wait for me to like get it together. And also like, I want this to be good, So I'm very grateful that we got that in one take, mainly because I had to go to a place and think about everything that she's been going through and really just rely on what we had already shot in the movie. And also like Ebony Booth is an incredible actress. So she was like there for me in all senses of the word. And I'm the most proud that we got that in one take. That's it. But that was the only thing I was really like nervous about.
Wow, one take. I mean, I do remember watching that scene and thinking, how do you cry that well on cue?
No idea.
You obviously spend some time with Down syndrome children at the community centre as well. The kids all looked like they were having so much fun. I mean, was it their first time acting?
Well, you know what? Like Leon, I will say Leon, who is essentially the star of the Surrogate, right? He has not acted before, but like he was a brilliant actor. Like because we just let a kid be a kid. Kids are better actors than adults will ever be because they're so much closer to their imagination, to anything being possible, to anything being right at their fingertips, right? So it's like they say, never be on stage with like an animal or a child because they will out-truth you, they will out-act you in every sense of the word. So yeah, we were blessed with that with Leon, but also Mia Coffey Henry, who is the DP of this project, did a beautiful thing. And she set up 2 cameras. And then we just sat in on what would be a normal day, a normal just like play day for those kids. And we got to watch them just be themselves, which is what the incredible footage is. It's just of them like playing. And their teacher was so incredible and so like hands-on and thought of all these fun things. So you're watching us be a part of their joy, and like that acting is coming from there. So it's nothing we ask the kids to do, nothing we ask them to like perform. We just really got like documentary style footage, which is actually one of my favorite parts of the film.
Yeah, I was actually going to say as well, it feels like very real time, and yeah, you said it right, it's a documentary type feel to it. I loved it.
Thanks.
So how much did you know actually about Down syndrome before you went into your audition, and was there anything that you looked into deeply before you went into it?
Yeah, so before the audition, there wasn't a lot of time between when I got the sides and part of the script to when I auditioned, but I did obviously do the like Google search and go down the rabbit hole of what actual Down syndrome was. what people were talking about in the community, what were some of the things that Jess was talking about in the script that I had so far. And I just wanted to make sure that when I said what I said in the script that I had at that point, that I could tell the truth, that I knew what I was talking about. Because the worst thing you can do is to just lie on stage and be like, yeah, I know about this, when really you don't know anything. But it was really the time before we started filming, after I was cast, that I got the whole script and understood what was going on, that Jeremy sent me a bunch of like book recommendations. And I actually got to hang out with Leon and his family and go to the daycare center for the first time and like actually be there and be with the kids. And that was actually the most learning that was helpful for me, was being there and being with the parents and talking to them in the same way that Jess kind of goes full immersion and into her learning. So I thought that was also very useful. But I will say Jeremy really, really wanted me to make sure that I knew as much as Jess did, because in the movie she's learning and she's going on a journey. So he wanted to make sure that I knew everything that she was talking about, and I knew about the book like Far From the Tree and another memoir, and I could actually like meet Leon's family and gain their trust and be a part of their lives, but also that I would learn too as we went along in the film. So what you're watching sometimes is me, like, of course I know the lines, like we've done a couple of takes and I know the people by then, but I'm also learning, like Jasmine is going through a new level of learning as Jess is going through learning.
Yeah. And she's such a real and raw character too. Again, this is something we don't normally see. Most of these women are usually portrayed as complete psychos. Did you look to anyone in particular for inspiration, or you just wanted, did you just play it how you thought you should?
I really just played it how I believed I should. I saw so much of former versions of myself and personalities that I knew in my own life in Jess. And I live in New York, so the Brooklyn scene is like not that far away. But mainly I just focused on her relationships with people. And I think that's how the character came alive. I was like, how does she interact with her best friends? How does she interact with her best friend's husband? Okay, how does she interact with this family? How many buttons does she push? How many boundaries does she not seem to see? Okay, like that's what informed this person. So I really just, took what Jeremy wrote and made who I thought was that person. And hopefully, she came alive as someone who's very singular and very herself.
Definitely. I mean, if you ever found yourself in the same situation as Jess, I mean, which way would you go?
I love this question because I have no idea. Like, I hope that this movie kind of shines a light on that you never know what you're going to do until you're in the situation. And a lot of people can pass judgment on different, decisions that are made. But until you are in those shoes yourself, standing in them 10 toes down, you have no idea what you're going to do. I posed this question to my partner the other day, and I was like, because I'm, doing interviews again. So, what would you do? And he was like, I have no idea. So, most of the movie, Jess has no idea what she's going to do. So I am right there with her. I have no idea. I would hope that I would only be compassionate and loving and make whatever decision I make with full empathy and information,
Yeah, it's not an easy one.
No.
We don't normally see, we never see women of color in such an important role within a story like this. What does that mean to you to be able to take this on?
Oh, it means everything. It means literally everything. I'm not seeing a lot of what I see in Jess, her flaws and her mistakes and the way she can be annoying and the way she can also be lovable. I've not seen that very much, especially as a Black woman. I've just not seen it. And I'm really, really, really grateful that now in this part of my life, I am seeing more of it. I'm seeing more of us on screen in different roles and not just the wife or the best friend or the funny one or the sassy one or whatever. I'm seeing us as human beings, and that is really, really everything to me. It means everything.
Yeah, it's really nice to see, actually. I quite enjoy it. So what's up next for you?
Okay, so I'm in a movie, but I'm not supposed to tell anyone I'm in a movie yet, so I'm gonna keep that
Okay.
to myself. But I'm really proud of that. And until then, I'll just be here. I, come back on New Amsterdam every once in a while. I also teach, but hopefully I'll be able to talk about this movie that is upcoming soon. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful meeting you.
You too.